Hello friends, today we are going to see the non-conventional machining process, that is a electron beam machining, which is also called as a EBM. In that we will cover the following topics, that is the principle of working, setup of EBM and application of EBM. So this is the actual diagram of the electron beam machining. So first part is the principle of working. So if you see in this statement, when a high velocity of electron beams are focused and concentrated on a small spot on the metal, the kinetic energy of the electron is converted into the heat energy, which is sufficient to melt the workpiece. This is a sketch where you can see the electrons are coming at very high speed, right? And it is focused on the workpiece at a particular spot, and due to that high velocity of that electrons, the material will start melting, but that electron which you are using, it is converted into heat, right? And due to that reason, the melting of the workpiece will takes place. When this technique is used, then it is called as a electron beam machining. In this case, but the this complete process even we can carry it out inside the chamber. Otherwise, what happen? Whatever the electrons are there, it will get scattered, and that's why this EBM process is carried out under the vacuum chamber. Now, because you can see that the beam is traveling around 50 to 80% of the velocity of the sound, and that's why we are going for the in the vacuum chamber. This process has been completed. This process is applied successfully for the welding of parts. So this you have to, many times they will ask the question which process is comfortable to do the welding operation in the non-conventional machining process. So in that, the answer will be the EBM. Now, setup of the EBM machine. In the setup, you can see there are 6 basic components which we want to see. First is the electron gun. Second is the magnetic lens. Third is the deflection coil, which is called as a magnetic deflection coil. Then the fourth is the movable table. Fifth is the monitoring instrument, means it is we are talking about the optical viewing system, and last one is the vacuum chamber. This is what we are talking about, the chamber which is inside that the process will takes place. So first we'll go for the electron gun. So you can see in this diagram the electron gun. This electron gun consists of 3 major parts. One is the cathode, grid curve, and the anode. So first, the cathode, again, in this case, the cathode is a tungsten filament, and which is heated at a very low current. And this cathode is again, or that tungsten is again connected to the negative terminal of the power supply. Second part will be the grid cup. You can see here, this is a grid cup, and this grid cup is again along with the filament. It is connected to the negative terminal of the power supply. You can see this one, this is a grid. It is connected to the negative terminal of the power supply, DC power supply. And the third one is the anode. So this anode is in the form of rings, and it is again connected to the positive terminal of the DC power supply. Now when this power is on, at that time the cathode is heated and it try to emit the electron by the thermal emission. Now, as there is a high potential difference between this cathode and anode, the electrons are accelerated towards the anode. So once this, it will accelerated, and at a very I can say at a very high velocity towards the anode now. So this is the basic function of the electron gun. The second is the magnetic lens. You can see in this diagram, this is a magnetic lens. So whatever the beams are coming out through this anode, right, from here, so that has been further again converged the beam into the narrow spot. You can see in this diagram, okay, over the workpiece. So that is a function of the magnetic lens. Then the third is the magnetic deflection coil. The magnetic deflection coil is used to deflect the beam further either onto a different spot on the surface or for moving on the along the contour. What it means? So whatever the electron beams which are coming out through the magnetic lens, now again with the help of this deflection coil, we can deflect over the surface. That is one thing, or we can just move electron beams on the periphery of the workpiece so that the cutting action will takes place, and that's why the deflection coil is used here. Then the fourth is the movable table. You can see in this diagram, we are showing the movable table, means over the table we are mounting the workpiece. So the position of the table can be moved according to the operation of the or the position of the beam, right? And all these you can see here the table and the workpiece we are placing inside this vacuum chamber, right? And this table movement can be controlled easily by a numerical control system, so that we can focus the workpiece properly below this beam of the below the electron beam of the process, right? And the machining of the workpiece is done by either moving the table or by deflection of the beam. Means both the options are available here. If you move the table, still it's okay, we can do the operation, or we can deflect the beam also. And that's why for that process the deflection coil is provided here, right? Then the fifth, this is what I'm showing, the vacuum chamber there. So complete box is nothing but a vacuum chamber there. Then the fifth is the monitoring instrument. What it means that in the you can see in this diagram, I'm showing the monitoring system there. So it is nothing but actually the optical system. So what happens in this case, whatever the process is going on inside the chamber, okay, we can observe it. That is the first thing, right? Even the operator can adjust the position of the workpiece as per the requirement also. That is a second part of that. And it keep the throughout the process we can keep the monitoring whether the process is going proper or not, right? So that is the basic function of the optical viewing system here, which is also called as a monitoring system. Then the sixth is a vacuum chamber. We know that all this complete process is carried out inside the chamber because we want to prevent the scattering of that electrons, right? Because it's having a maximum efficiency, you know, if and even though you want good efficiency of that electron beams, so you can again go for the vacuum chamber. So that is the two functions of that, why we are producing the operation inside the chamber. Then we'll go for the next application of electron beam machining. You can see this is the first, as we know that this process is most famous for the welding purposes. We can join the two components there. Second, engraving of metal. This is the keychain which we are using, and in that case, if you want to make a design on that, we are engraving that on the metal piece. So any type of shapes can be generated over the metal. That is called as the engraving process. Then the injector nozzle of a diesel engine. So this is how, just I'm showing this is a nozzle of a diesel engine there. So this is also possible. So even you can make a very small hole if you want, and that injector is possible in the EBM. Then the removal of broken die. Many times what happens when you are doing the tapping operation, that tap, this is a tap, and this tap will get actually we are applying more force, it get broken. So in that case you have to remove it, right? So for that we can apply the again EBM for removal of that tap. Then the flow orifice. In the flow orifice, just this is just like a nozzles there. So if you want to make again the hole of a different sizes there, it is possible by the EBM process. So thank you, friend.